The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Trader's Edge with Steve Rhodes. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648 or internationally at 727-873-7618. The Trader's Edge. Now, Steve Rhodes.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to the April 11th, the fantastic Friday edition of today's Trader's Edge Show. I'm your host, Stevie Perseverance Rhodes, who absolutely knows that each of us should always be pioneers of our future versus prisoners of our past. Hope everyone out there is having a great day, and let's make sure we have an extraordinary one. Now, the easiest way to do that is to always remember that life is happening for us, not to us. That's right. When you and I make that one little 2x4 shift, it means we can find the gift in every set of circumstance that life is going to toss at us. Now, today, you and I, we're going to go check on the circumstance of these markets. We'll go figure out what those bulls and bears, what those buyers and sellers are communicating to you and I at just past 11 o'clock in the morning. I do want you to know that I'm absolutely grateful for your presence here. But more important than that, that's this. During this next 53 minutes, I'm here to serve you. So feel free to send me an email. Send it off early if you would. Steve@TFNN.com. Inside that subject heading, please put radio show question. Of course, if you're inside our Tiger's Den, well, then any and every ping will do. So let's go ahead and get this show started on Fantastic Friday. Of course, this is Tiger Financial News Network. I'm Steve Rhodes. Welcome to the show. Well, just a few minutes ago, we had things that were green. Now they're red. And just who knows what's going to take place in the next moment, but we're going to go try to figure that out. Right now, you've got the Dow down 220 points, S&P off 25, NASDAQ 195, Russell's down 24, Tranny's off 289, Semi's down 42, Gold's up $74, Silver's up $1.36, light sweet crude up 6 pennies, natural gas is off 10 cents. 30-year Treasury now down 2 points and 3 ticks, print out at 111.25 out there. Our leaders in the clubhouse to the upside, our Genix SE up $31, 5%. I'm not even sure how you pronounce that next one. We'll go with Mercado Libre up $15. Monolithic Power Systems $19. MicroStrategy $14. Mettler Toledo $7 the upside. Leaders to the downside, Saia Inc., the freight company up $26, nearly 8%. ServiceNow $22, 3%. Plavio up Applovin up $21, 8%. Restoration Hardware $14. Costco's down 15. Meta is up $12. So we got movers and we've got shakers. But let's begin our day here. Now we're going to change things up just a tad. We'll try this out. I think this might work smooth. At least it worked smooth when I was testing it. And that is we're going to use both the combination of the black background system and my white background system today, primarily because there are charts here that are worth taking a look at for you. So let's start off by taking a look at the U.S. dollar index. As we had mentioned, we have the U.S. dollar index moving lower. Now, what's not shown here is the Rhodes Momentum Indicator signal. If we get a bullish reversal candle today, and that candle most likely, if it were to form, would be a bullish hammer candle. If we get that, then the U.S. dollar index will have put in a bottom. At the weekly time frame, I've got some trend lines. It will also tell us that a trend line has held. You can see it also on the monthly time frame chart out there. If price breaks below those trend lines, doesn't form a bullish reversal candle, odds favor that we continue to move lower. Lower to where? You know, that's a great question out there. There's no real A to B equals CD pattern that you could draw in here on the weekly time frame. I would just simply have to say it would be headed down towards a trend line, which is in the 93-ish area out there. We're at 99. We're not there just yet, so you want to watch the U.S. dollar index. Now, if we take a look at gold, gold's moving higher, but here's the caution sign. If we take a look at gold, in U.S. dollars, we're at new all-time highs. You didn't need me to tell you that. But we aren't anywhere near new all-time highs, gold priced in euros or yen out there. So that's just a caution signal. Now, we're not at new all-time highs in terms of Canadian loonie or Swiss krona or Swiss francs. But we are in terms of British pounds, Chinese yuan, and Aussie dollars. Now, the best bull markets are when it's moving higher. In this case here, all-time highs all at the same time. So it's just a bit of a caution signal out there. That caution signal will turn even more yellow if that U.S. dollar index were to form a bearish reversal candle. So keep that in mind. Is that possible that that's what the U.S. dollar index is doing? And is gold potentially forming a Rhodes Momentum Indicator top? Well, not now, because that's certainly not a bearish reversal candle on the daily time frame, upper left-hand side for gold. Now, if we take a look at gold priced in all the Middle Eastern currencies, each topped on the exact same day. If you take a look, I've got my cursor on what was the previous high out there, and in each of those cases, we saw price moving lower. That was kind of a signal that, okay, maybe things are getting resolved over there. Well, that clearly is not the case. Maybe all of this angst is in relationship to the meeting with Iran this weekend or what have you. I don't know. But what I do know is we're new all-time highs in all these currencies, and that's like a firecracker that could be going off. A big M80, so to speak, out there. If we take a look at gold, the one thing that gold is going to be up against now, this is long-term. This is a chart that I drew in here probably years ago. And here what we see is you can see both the horizontal trading ranges. This is the monthly chart that we're looking at, and the diagonal price channels. You can see right now that Goldilocks is is getting up towards the top of another price channel, as well as this horizontal trading range. Horizontal trading range number is 3292. A 1.618 of a smaller A to B equals CD pattern is 3309. And so gold's bumping up against what could be a significant resistance level. So you want to keep your eye on that. What else do I want to show you on the black background charts? Excellent question. Let's start with taking a look at, let's take a look at what took place yesterday in the equity future. That wasn't it. It's on my other chart, so let's not do that. Let's take a look at the New York Stock Exchange, the Advanced Decline Oscillator. We are back in oversold territory. So when the Advanced Decline Oscillator is looking at the Advanced Decline line, that's panel number 2 on my chart out there, and it's taking the difference between the 19 and 39 period exponential moving average. And then that tells us, and then we're taking a look at, is that price oscillator above zero, below zero? Price oscillator, advanced decline oscillator is above zero, below zero. If it's below zero, tells you that sellers have an edge. Above zero, buyers have an edge, generally speaking. But when you get to minus 150, you start to get into oversold territory. Can you get more oversold? Of course, we saw that. We got down towards the minus 250 level, and you can get even below that. But when we start getting down into those levels, that's why we saw that explosive move out there. Well, one of the reasons that helped set that off a couple of days ago. So we're back in that same kind of condition, and all you need to do is light that fuse, and that firework could rocket ship could actually move to the upside. Now, the issue why the market is just it's so jittery and moving back and forth, and it's still a very short-term concern. If we take a look at the spot VIX index, the current spot VIX index is trading out at 38.52. That's the April contract. Go out to December of 2025. We're at 22.90. This is called contango. This contango can go on for quite a while. In fact, back in 2020, as an example, during the COVID crash, if I look at the 3-month time frame chart here, I'll go ahead. Now, this is a tool that allows us to take a look at. You may have saw there are 3 other indexes. You've got the 3-month, the 6-month, and the 1-year index of the spot VIX. So you can just simply divide spot VIX by that to let you know whether you're in contango or not. And here, if you take a look at back in the 2020 time frame out here, what we can see is that we were in this for 2 solid months of that contango. Now, the high so far, the low of the S&P 500 is right in line with the high right now of that contango on that 3-month VIX spread out there. That can be a bottom. If we get back below the 1 level, it would be a bottom. Steve Rhodes with TFNN. We'll be right back.
If you're looking for potential trading setups in the stock market, then Rocket Equities and Options Report is a newsletter you should try. Tommy O'Brien delivers options and equity trades when the markets present them, using a combination of fundamentals and technicals. Sign up for Rocket Equities and Options Report today with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. For all the details and to start your subscription today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the Opening Call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
Steve Rhodes started his trading career as a student almost 20 years ago, and the student has now become the master. Steve won the prestigious Timer of the Year award in 2018 and barely missed that mark again in 2019, finishing at number 2 for the year. An amazing accomplishment. Steve Rhodes is committed to sharing his techniques and knowledge with anyone who wants to learn, and he shares his vast amount of trading knowledge every day in his Mastering Probability newsletter. Steve's award-winning newsletter, Mastering Probability, is delivered every trading day with updates throughout the afternoon. Sign up for Steve's market newsletter, Mastering Probability, and you'll receive access to 7 of Steve's educational webinars absolutely free. At TFNN, all our newsletters come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have absolutely nothing to worry about. Visit TFNN.com and try Mastering Probability 30 days risk-free today. TFNN, educating investors.
TFNN has launched the Tiger's Den. Hosted at Discord, TFNN has been educating traders for more than 20 years with live programming hosted by a variety of professional traders during market hours. The Tiger's Den, available to all tigers and tigresses for just $1 for the year. There's no catch or added costs when you join our community of traders. Sign up today and become a part of this educational community of traders. Just visit the front page of TFNN.com.
Welcome back, folks. So we've got the daily equity future contracts up on my screen. Yesterday was a test and rejection of the swing point that formed out here on Monday, on April 7th. As an example, that swing point, I've got, as far as volume, I've got 3.6 million contracts on that day. Yesterday was a test and rejection. That was with 2.5 million. So test rejection swing point. We're testing it again today. And what really needs to happen here in order for the ES Mini to have some oomph to move to the upside is a close above that red oscillator and change line. That's currently printed about the 53.17 level. Yesterday, the NQ also tested a swing point. It was April the 7th out there. Now, that had volume of about 1.1 million contracts, and we did slightly over that. We did lighter volume yesterday. 975,000. So another test and rejection of that swing point. It's testing its oscillator and change line and that swing right now. If it can remain above that, it should rally back towards its sell zone, 19,327, 19,685 out there. If you take a look at the Dow, so the Dow tested its swing point from April the 7th. Volume there was about 253,000. It was tested with 256,000. So a little bit more volume. What that then said is that at least that high should be tested, which it is being tested as we speak right now. If it can close, price that is, above the 39,882-ish type area out there, then we ought to see the Dow rally up towards the 41,610 level. And finally, the Russell 2000. Russell 2000, so the ESNQ, Dow, YM, each have buy the D point patterns. So they've got Gartley buy patterns. The Russell's got both the Gartley buy pattern as well as the Rhodes Momentum Indicator bottom. And now it has been struggling for sure. It yesterday closed back inside its swing point. So the swing point, the swing point that we're taking a look at here is one that formed just a few days ago, the one from April the 9th. And that had volume of 567,000 contracts. And yesterday it was 472, but it was a test rejection on lighter volume. However, because we closed inside there, you don't know if price is going to get down and test support, which would be 1747.50. But what price needs to do here clearly is be able to close above that red oscillator and change line. But really, quite frankly, what it needs to do, it needs to get out of the swing point. And that's going to require a close. That's going to require a nice move, close above 1948.60 out there. So that's what's going on with the daily equity future contracts. Let's spend, there's a question that was posed, basically kind of really a thorough review of the ES Mini. What are we looking at here? What am I looking at? Well, if we take a look at the ES Mini, I want to start off, take a look at the daily, the weekly, and the monthly time frame. I want to get the bigger picture, not the jitterbug stuff that's going on inside the markets out here. If we take a look at, if the question is, Steve, as the ES Mini, for its daily, weekly, and monthly time frame, formed bottom patterns? And the answer to that question is yes. If you take a look at the daily, we already know that's a buy the D point pattern. We are in bar number 8 of a TD9 count. That's going to go ahead and form today no matter what. If we get a rally inside the ES Mini, I'm not the exactly sure exact price point. I'm just kind of spitballing this. I'm looking for the halfway point inside that candle from last week out there. I'm going to say it's around 53.69 or so. If price closed above that, then you would have a bullish piercing candle. That would confirm a Gartley buy pattern on a weekly basis out there. And on a monthly time frame, when price is able to get back to a breakout level, in the case of the ES Mini, that's what price was doing. That's at 48.12.25. We didn't get all the way down there. We got close. And how close did we get? We got to 48.32 versus 48.12. That level held out there. So the charts are telling us, if you just simply get rid of the noise out there, now this is for a longer term, what are the charts communicating to us? They're communicating to us that we should rally. Again, the ES Mini is going to have as your pilot between 11 and 12, I'm going to put that fasten seatbelt sign on when we get to the 55.85 level, because that's when the turbulence should really start. Yeah, even more turbulence than we have right now between 55.85 and 57.73. So that's what's going on daily, weekly, and monthly. Let's go check out the intraday time period out here. And on an intraday time period for the ES Mini, where are we going to begin? Well, we don't need to take a look at the daily. We've already beat that to death. If we take a look at the 2-hour time frame chart, so this would be a good one to watch to get a kind of a decent perspective on maybe a little bit longer than a 10, 15, 30-minute chart out there. But on the 2-hour time frame chart, we formed a nice TD9 count bottom. So I'm going to just simply open up this chart. We're going to review that. So when it actually made its low out here back at on the 6th of April out there, it stopped right at a TD9 count bottom. Then we formed another TD9 count bottom at 2 o'clock in the afternoon yesterday on the 10th out there. So that's a key level to be watching, especially if price does close below its profile level at 52.77 or so. But that key price point is going to be 51.46.75. If price closes below that, that would trigger an A to B equals CD to the downside. That would tell me that we probably head back towards a breakout level at 48.67. But we're not there just yet. What really needs to happen today in order to trigger to you and I that the ES Mini wants to rally? Well, for that, we can go back to the 30-minute time frame chart. The 30-minute time frame chart, we'll open this up. We're going to see TD9 count top, and that's what we're going to be watching on any kind of rally. The TD9 count top formed at 2:30 this morning out here. Well, it completed at 3 o'clock. So now that price level that you're watching to the upside would be 53.79. If price closes above that, that tells us there's more rally. But as we can see, that rally would also have a potential sell point at 54.85.75, and then all the way up to the 55.18 level. Support for the 30-minute time frame, or key level of support, is going to be its breakout level, courtesy of that TD9 count pattern, and that's at the 52.44.50 area out there. Let's see what else we can see on the intraday charts here for the ES Mini. Nice bullish hammer candle on the 60-minute. That probably was an A to B equals CD pattern. Yeah, I can make an A to B equals CD pattern that gets us there for sure. So that's got to buy the D point pattern. But you got the 2-hour time frame chart really to focus on. Is there anything else that I see out here? Not really much. On the 4-hour time frame, price is testing support right now. That support key level 52.65. So that's what I've got on the ES. But to answer the question, just to make sure I'm very succinct here, daily, weekly, and monthly ES Mini have bottom patterns. Doesn't mean that they can't fail, but they've got bottom patterns. What about the NQ? Well, good question. Let's go take a look at the NQ out here. Let's do really the same thing. Let's get to this chart here. Let's go ahead and populate the NQ chart. So give me a moment to do that. This should take only about 10 to 15 seconds. Should be taking 10 seconds, which I like, at least when I was testing it out. But I wasn't tied into the den and all that stuff. Yeah, pretty much so. So here you've got a by the D point bottom pattern on the daily time frame. You've got the TD9 count pattern on the so bar number 8. Now, the reason, so we've got bar number 8. That's going to complete today no matter what. ES Mini, the NQ, and the YM. 90% of the time, when David was alive, David White was alive, he was helping me develop a system out there. And those that were subscribers to the newsletter saw some of those components where we were able to really analyze the TD9 count. One of the things that we did discover was that 90% of the time, if you get to a successful bar number 8, what that means, a successful bar number 8 is either it's the high or low of the pattern. In this case, the low of the pattern. 90% of the time, it will go ahead and form that TD9 count bottom. That's pretty much what it looks like is going to take place here. So we've got a TD9 count bottom inside of the NQ, and I don't have a breakout level to know whether price got back to the breakout here in the NQ, but Steve Rhodes with TFNN. We'll be right back. We've got just a couple of requests, BWLP, Gold, and Halliburton. I'd love more. We'll be right back.
Building wealth trading in the stock market seems impossible to most people. They think it's too volatile and risky. Most people aren't going to take the time to educate themselves on how to do it right. But you're not most people, are you? At TFNN, you'll get the guidance you need to refine your strategies and techniques to invest like a pro. Because you'll be a pro. All TFNN subscriptions, books, software, and courses are available at TFNN.com. And I'm even going to tell you how to get them for less. Use TFNN's Tiger Dollars and you'll get up to a 20% bonus on your purchase. And once you apply them to your account, Tiger Dollars are automatically used for all future or recurring charges. Tiger Dollars also never expire, are fully transferable, and are a great way to add savings to your newsletters or services. Become the investor you were born to be at TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
In the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento, a pro's pro with over 50 years of experience. Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
This year has already been a wild ride for the market. We started off heavily in the red, traversed back to all-time highs, and we now have a trade war looming. Trying to play this chop as an individual trader leads to death by 1,000 cuts. Where does this market go next? Should I add to this position or cut my losses? Where is the next opportunity? Tariffs? Trade wars? Analysis paralysis. Don't become a victim of this intense market. Instead, join Larry Pesavento over the second and fourth Friday of every month for 3 hours of live trading. Larry has been through many markets just like this one, and the insight he provides is invaluable. The dates for this month are April 11th and 25th, 9 a.m. to noon Eastern Time. Get in here and let's start trading. TFNN, educating investors.
This portion of the Trader's Edge is brought to you by Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the direction. Visit Direxion.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day. Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risk, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at direction.com. Read carefully. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Welcome back, folks. We're taking a look at ticker symbol BWLP. This is for Dan inside the Tigers Den. Dan, it's got a beautiful TD9 count bottom pattern out there. That bottom pattern went ahead and completed on April the 7th. That was a bar following bar number 9. The very next day, you get a bullish structured profile that form. Of course, now prices tested and rejected the resistance level. That's at 922. That's the top of the profile. What you're looking for here is for price to clear, not just the top of the profile, but that red oscillator and change line, currently printed at 935. If you get a close above that, the daily time frame says it's off to the races. Now, we can't really get off to the races until the weekly produces a bullish reversal candle to complete this by the D point pattern, potentially. Because you can get a bottom when you just simply get back to a breakout level. That's exactly what took place out here. It's the third breakout level, which is at $8.39. So let's call the weekly chart maybe, maybe not. When we take a look at the monthly time frame chart, we just discussed how when you form bar number 8 of a TD9 count, which looks like we will do this month here, odds favor that this will go on and complete a TD9 count pattern. Now you can have a higher low out there. What just can't take place is that in the month of May, in order for that pattern to complete, price can't close above 1345 at the end of the session out there. I don't really have anything else on the monthly time frame, but the daily looks good. So what you're watching, what you're trying to figure out is, can that take out resistance? If it does, that's going to improve that weekly chart out there. Weekly chart is in bar number 7 of a TD9 count, wave number 6 out there. So no other bottom signal that I see. So Dan, I hope that helps you out with regard to BWLP. Ron wrote in and would like to take a look at gold. So let's do that. His question is long or short, basically, for a 2-week swing. Let's see if we can answer that question. First, we take a look at gold. Let's go back and look at the daily, the weekly, and the monthly time frame. Understand where we're at out here. We've got the June contract up on our screen. The monthly says we complete a TD9 count pattern at the end of this month out there. The daily says if I close above, what was it, 3201.60. I knew there was one somewhere. And looks like a good chance, but you never know. If price closes above 3201.60, what it does, Ron, it negates that TD9 count top. Now, I've got wave number 7 that's still out there, but that needs that lower high. So there still is a topping signal that is present. The daily time frame has a sell the D point top, and it closes above 3201.60 negates that signal. So ordinarily, I would say, okay, you're breaking out of breaking resistance. That would suggest that you would want to move higher. But maybe, I don't know whether you caught it or you didn't catch it out here. There is a bit of caution with regard to gold. First, if we take a look at its horizontal and price channels out there, we're about to get into a resistance area out there. Will it hold? It's only another $40 higher or so out there. Pretty tough for me to tell you to take a long position out here, knowing that we're going to bump up against what could be significant resistance. But I also can't tell you today to take a short position inside of gold. Not unless you get the U.S. dollar index to form that bullish reversal candle at session end and confirm a Rhodes momentum indicator top, and for gold to do the exact opposite, form a bearish reversal candle. Then we'd have the signals out there. Now let's just go take a look at the intraday charts and see if there's any other signals out there that we should be aware of. So for that, we'll move over to this set of charts out here. It's moving pretty smooth, huh? Yesterday was such a shitty show, quite frankly, that I produced out there. The worst of all of them that I've done. It was my own fault just because I was, trying to, anyways, out there. So gotta repay that one back. So when we take a look at the 5-hour time frame chart, that's coming from me saying that it was just a piece of crap show yesterday. If we take a look at the 5-hour time frame chart, Ron, it's negating a TD9 count top. So that says it wants to move higher. 4-hour time frame chart maybe as that price rallies, it goes on to complete a TD9 count top at, I won't even complete one today. Yeah, you could confirm one today, but you still got further rally to go. On the 120-minute time frame chart, no topping pattern as of yet. You had a TD9 count, but that looks like that's going to get negated. Rhodes momentum indicator top on the 60, but you need to see a close below 31.97 to kind of say, oh, maybe there is something here to the short side. 30-minute time frame chart, no topping pattern yet. Nothing on the 15, nothing on the 10's got a TD9 count top. That was at the high of the day so far. So if price is able to close above that high being 32.6230, then you're going to continue the rally. Now that TD9 count top round on the 10-minute chart found support at its profile at 32.39 out there. So that's the best that I've got for you. As far as a 1 to 2 week swing, I think you're at a stage here where you're sitting on your hands with regard to Goldilocks out there. At least that's my review at this moment in time. So I do hope that helps you out, and thank you for your request. We've got a request out here from Alton. Alton wants to take a look at Halliburton. HAL is a ticker symbol, and Alton would like to add to that. So did Stevie get that up? Wasn't it? Give me a second. I think I put that up already. It wasn't there. I'm going to go one more shot out here. There we go. So Halliburton, what do we have out here? Well, I can clearly see an A to B equals CD pattern to the downside. That was completed. So you have a buy the D point pattern on the daily time frame. That went ahead and formed on the trading session of April the 10th, that big old bullish engulfing candle. What price is doing right now, Alton, it's trading with inside its profile. It actually, on Wednesday out there, it actually closed above profile resistance, looked like it was ready to break out. But what did it run into? That red oscillator and change line. What does that mean? That still means that we have a falling price oscillator below zero on Halliburton, and those are bearish conditions out there. So you're looking to add to your position. Right now, price is trading into its sell zone. That's between 1942 and 2012 out there. So that would be your area to add. On a monthly time frame, though, Halliburton may negate a TD9 count pattern, and that would then suggest that we've got a strong move to the downside going on a longer term time frame. So that really suggests caution out there. On the weekly time frame, we do not have any kind of a bottom pattern out there. Now, there's A to B equals CD pattern for sure out here, but that requires a bullish reversal candle. So even though you've got the daily, I say you've got to be cautious out here with regard to Halliburton. I mean, you don't have to be, but I would suggest that you be cautious out here with regard to Halliburton. I'd almost rather add to your position when this proves itself, at least on the daily time frame. But monthly chart is kind of scary out there with regard to its potential meaning. So I hope that helps you out, Alton, with regard to Halliburton. I wish I had better news for you. Let me see inside the Tiger's Den here if there are any other requests that have been thrown in. Thanks, Steve. You're welcome. They pay a great dividend. Cool. Great analysis. Doing nothing as an answer. Yes. Yeah, I remember I gave a report back in my first year in college. It was a communications class, and the entire grade was based upon one report that you turned in. My report was based on, believe it or not, was the war in the Middle East. And my conclusion was, because they've been fighting at that stage for almost 5,000 years, that you really couldn't. My conclusion was that you couldn't draw a conclusion, and the professor gave me an A for that one. Anyway, Steve Rhodes with TFNN. We'll be right back.
If you spend any time online researching trading techniques on how to begin your trading journey, you've no doubt come across many folks who push Forex trading as a way to make big money quickly. Unfortunately, there are equally as many stories of these so-called Forex professionals just looking to make a quick buck off aspiring traders without actually teaching the ins and outs of the Forex market. This is what sets Teddy Keckstack's The Tiger Forex Report off the riffraff. Every Monday, former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member and author Teddy Keckstack releases his Tiger Forex Report newsletter, where he dives into the complex world of Forex and takes time to actually teach you his methods that have made him so successful in the fast-paced and rewarding world of Forex trading. Furthermore, all subscribers receive access to archived live streams of Teddy's, where he provides university-level education to help you in Forex trading. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So what are you waiting for? Forex awaits.
In the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento, a pros pro with over 50 years of experience. Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
For traders who crave risk, Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs provide opportunities to magnify short-term perspectives with up to 3 times a daily leverage, utilize bull and bear funds from both sides of the trade, and trade through rapidly changing markets. These are highly leveraged ETFs with daily resetting designed for short-term trading, not long-term investing. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the Direxion. For up-to-date pricing and performance, go to Direxion.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day. Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risk, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at Direxion.com. Read carefully. Distributor Foresight Fund Services, LLC.
This program is brought to you by Vista Gold, traded on the NYSE American and TSX under the symbol VGZ.
Gamba inside the Tigers Den. Let's take a look at URA. So we'll do that. He says, I deserve a mulligan for yesterday's show. Well, thank you for that. I appreciate that. Speaking of mulligan, it's a Masters weekend out there. My youngest daughter is going to the Sunday, so she'll watch the finals out there. That'll be pretty cool. I saw Nick Faldo was on. Nick and I play the same clubs, the clubs at least that he won the Masters with and a couple of British Opens and so forth. And I've got a new set that is actually coming in. I play Mizuno blades, and so I've got a new set coming in. And then I'm watching Freddie Couples yesterday. His bag is full of nothing but of woods, yeah, go Freddie out there. Hybrids, yeah. I don't hit those well. My favorite club is the 2-iron. So I can smoke that 2-iron and pretty much keep it on a fairly straight line out there most of the time. In any event, let's go look at URA out there because we could talk about golf for a long time. In this case here, we've got URA that's got a nice TD9 count bottom jambalaya for its daily time frame, and price is attempting to get back inside that profile. Yeah, Mizuno doesn't make a 1-iron any longer. So I used to have a 1-iron, but they do not make that club. In fact, if you take a look at most manufacturers out there, they pretty much are like 6-iron, maybe 5-iron up out there. So it's actually kind of hard to, if you're a real iron player like I am, it's hard to find 2 3s and 4s. In any event, and URA back here, you get me off small plane crash in Boca. Whoa. Yeah, that airport's just down the street. I watch flights coming. In any event, back to URA. So you're trying to get back into its profile, and that is it's at $22. So if it does that, then what it should do is it should rally into its sell zone. And the sell zone is between 22.84 and 23.25. Now, if price can clear 23.25, you'll see it move up towards a 25.44 level out there. Weekly time frame chart, bar number 8 is going to go ahead and form this week. This will or really should go ahead and form a TD9 count bottom pattern between this week and next. I think it's this week. As long as price does not close next week above 25.78, you'll likely have your weekly TD9 count bottom. Now, do we need the TD9 count? Absolutely not. Why not? Because this is going to confirm a Gartley buy pattern today, at least at this moment in time. You can see it's a bullish piercing candle. It just has to close halfway into the prior bar out there. So it looks like you're going to get a weekly buy the D-point pattern. You've got a daily TD9 count bottom, and on the monthly time frame, URA pulled back after its Rhodes Momentum Indicator top and found support at its breakout level at 1990. Your question was just to take a review of it. This is absolutely a bottom out here for its daily, its weekly, and its monthly time frame out there. So for any of you out there that are looking to get into URA, Stevie would have to say now is the time. So I do hope that helps you out. Dan was asking, I was trying to get this started for you, Dan. Let's see if it's populated for us. Let's pull up my black background charts. He wanted to see a correlation between, there it is, we got it. We got the correlation. I think this is what you were asking about. What is the correlation between, the directional correlation that is, between the S&P 500, that's up at the top, and gold, which is the center chart. Now what I'm using here is a 5-day correlation, Dan. When bars are above zero, what we've got, that tells us you have a directional correlation on a 5-day average. Both move to the upside, both move to the downside out there. Yeah, there's Freddie. Is he hitting? He's hitting all those hybrids out there. I can't do that. I don't have control of hybrids. It's just, I don't know. It's too many years of just playing with the small blade. But in any event, if we take a look at the, so back to this. Right now, there has been, over the last, let's just call it since all of April, at least at this stage of the game, there has been a directional correlation. That's what this chart is telling us. And you can kind of see it, too, for the most part out there. So, you know, I don't know if this provided you with the information that you were looking for. I'm not really sure what else I can do with it. You know, it seems to be more directional than an inverse relationship, because there are plenty more bars above the zero threshold area than there are below the threshold area. So, okay, good. That's what you were looking for, and glad we were able to get that to you. What else do we? I'm just going to check the phone, and you weren't sure what you expected. Neither was I. So it's a good question. But the cool thing is, you know, is that the e-signal system gives me such great flexibility, you know, to divide instruments, you know, create ratios, create spreads. I mean, it's really it's the one knock on the Ninja Trader system. What I do to get the stuff into my Ninja Trader system is I export the data out of eSignal, and I can import it in, and then I can take a look at the TD9 count patterns and things of that sort. So I don't see any other requests out there. We still got time. Let's do this. Let's go see what we should do. Let's try to go answer the question about what's going on inside the markets by looking at the NDX 100. How does that sound to everybody out there? Now, when I say the NDX 100, what I really meant to say is let's go take a look at the top 10 instruments inside of the NASDAQ. And the top 10 instruments, give me a moment out here. Let me see if I can find what the current top 10 holdings are. Apple's going to be number one. Okay, great. So we've got, let me close this up just a tad. So we've got Apple that represents 9.38%. So let's go take a look at charts here for Apple, AAPL. This is going to, I was asked a question about the ES Mini out there and what our thoughts were. We took a look at the NQ as well. But, to really answer the question, what's the NASDAQ going to do, we should take a look at what the NASDAQ top 10 are doing. So you got 9.38% weighting. Apple's got to buy the D-point bottom pattern. That formed with that bullish engulfing candle on the 9th. What did price do? Ran right up into resistance at oscillator and change line. So what do we know about Apple? We know that oscillator and change line is the key level of resistance. You close above it, 195.71. Got to add probably a few cents or so if we continue to get rally out here. But if we close above that, then we are likely headed up to at least 208.70. That would be the top of its profile out there. The weekly time frame bottom from the standpoint that price pulled back to its breakout level, 169.11. It was the same breakout level on the monthly time frame. So even though Apple doesn't have a bullish reversal candle to confirm a weekly buy the D-point pattern, it did get back to its breakout level and held. And so you've got a bottom in Apple. So now it's really all up to the daily time frame. You close above that oscillator and change line, you are off to the races. Microsoft is number 2 out there. So let's take a look at Microsoft. I was reviewing this at about 2 in the morning. out here for subscribers. Just happened to be up. If we take a look at Microsoft, it's got a beautiful TD9 count bottom pattern out here. Price running all the way up into that TD9 count breakdown. You don't think there's TD9 count patterns and the other tools that it provides us with, which is a objective breakdown and breakout level, are important out here? No one would have picked 392.24 as the level where price would have stopped out there. It's just not taught. And anyway, that's where price is going to go ahead to again, 392.24. That's on Microsoft. On a weekly time frame, Microsoft has got a beautiful buy the D point bottom pattern. So it's a Gartley buy on the weekly time frame for Microsoft. It's got a TD9 count pattern that was tested and held out there. It's going to go rally up towards a 395.24 level. If you can close above that, then you're looking at 408.86 to 415.45. And the monthly time frame chart just isn't really helping. But I think it's a daily and the weekly chart for Microsoft that are truly driving things. So that's two of the, that's 17%, 18% of the NDX 100 that are suggesting we've got a bottom. We'll be right back.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the opening call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
In the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento, a pros pro with over 50 years of experience. Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
Are you ready to take charge of your financial future? TFNN is your gateway to the world of trading and investing. Whether you're starting out or scaling up, TFNN empowers traders and investors of all skill levels with top-notch investing systems, strategies, and techniques. It's time to protect and grow your money with insight you can trust. Join us live Monday through Friday during market hours for exclusive content that moves with the markets. At TFNN, we bring the trading floor to you. Our seasoned hosts are here to answer your calls and questions live on the air. Check out the Tiger's Den for just $1 and follow us on YouTube and become part of our vibrant community. And remember, at TFNN, we're so confident in the value we provide that we offer a 30-day money-back guarantee on all new premium newsletter subscriptions and services. You have absolutely nothing to risk, so why wait? Tune in live to Tiger TV and transform your trading journey, because when you know better, you invest better. Join us and experience the difference today. TFNN, educating investors.
Welcome back, folks. We're taking a look at the charts here for Nike. The monthly chart out here, Dan, is telling us that price wants to get back to at least test this swing point from November of 2016. The volume on that TD9 count, by that way, that was a TD9 count bottom, 166 million shares. Well, this month so far, we're already at 347 million shares. So no bottoming signal there. trading in towards that swing point. Should go test that swing point. Weekly chart, Rhodes momentum indicator signal present, but no bullish reversal candle. So that just simply wants lower price out there. And the daily does have a buy the D point pattern. That would fail with a close below 52.37 out there. So that's what I see when I take a look at the Nike charts. Hope that helps you out. Rich in Oregon wants to take a look at KGC out here. It's a little rocket ship on a daily time frame. I've got no topping signal other than wave number 7. Now, we gap to the upside. Just be careful. Just be observant. If this, for example, on Monday were to gap to the downside, you'd have an island top at all-time highs out there. So you wave number 7. I'm not saying that's going to happen. I'm just saying, man, just watch. Just make sure. Weekly chart, no topping signal out here. A monthly chart, no topping signal. So this thing is strong like bull. There's no doubt about that. But it's got the only topping signal is that potential wave number 7 top. That needs a lower high out there. And if that does take hold, price might pull back to test support, 1290 to 1305 out there. So that's what's going on there. NVIDIA is the third instrument inside the NASDAQ 100 from a weighting standpoint, 7.43% out there. Let's go see what we can do here before the bell, before the show closes. The NVIDIA, beautiful TD9 count bottom, wave number 7 bottom, resistance at 112.87, above that 118.84. The weekly time frame chart is going to go ahead and confirm a Gartley buy pattern. So you got two patterns out there, two buy signals for NVIDIA. And that's it for the show, folks. Have a fantastic Friday. Have a wonderful weekend. And I'll look forward to seeing you on Monday at 11 a.m. sharp. Take care. Be safe out there.